Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the New Era Paranormal Podcast. This week we have JD and Irene back for a podcast interview with Tina Pantelli.
Pantelli.
Pantelli. Tina is a psychic medium and author. She has a lot of years of experience honing her craft and wrote a book named Psychic Tarot. Learn how to read tarot using your intuition for beginners. So, Tina, how did you get involved in the psychic mediumship field of study?
It's really weird because I was always interested as I think late teens. Because back in the days, obviously, it was a taboo. Nobody spoke about it. So it was, I had so many questions, getting into it. And then as the community was growing and generations kept changing, managed to get reading books and getting into it. I just loved every moment of it, being educated in that sense. So I think my interest just grew and grew to where I am today. But it's funny how how we are today back then. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how many years back then because obviously you can calculate my age.
300.
That's right. Yeah, just about. A couple of years under. But
Just
it was.
shy.
It's one of the most spirituality side. It's one of the most interesting areas that you can grow and learn. And we're always learning every day. There's more stuff that I'm learning from from other people too. Because we never stop learning. So I started with what did I start with? Mediumship. I read a lot of books on that. There was no one that taught it in the UK back then, that I was aware of anyway. And then years later, got into my tarot, and then my journey just blossomed from there, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
When you talk about what it was like before and what it was like now, what it's like now, you mean the openness towards spirituality?
Totally, yeah. Because back then, I didn't have anyone that I can speak to, having questions. What is this? I always felt there was something different, but who do you speak to? Because I come from a religious background. My parents were very closed up, and religion is a massive impact on spirituality, on your journey, because it's like mum. I think back then, my mum thought me going into this journey, that I'm going to lose my faith, but they don't understand. It's got nothing to do with faith. It's a different journey. You still are who you are. Still have my faith and my beliefs that will never change. But moving forward, this is something different, that you're there literally to help other people on their development, make them understand. And, and that's how we started, but it was very hard, back then to where I am now. This is a better generation now, very open. People are more open to it. And it's great. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. I grew up very, very similar. So it was very difficult to transition into being more open about it as well. Like, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of judgment when you first start talking about what you do. So it's a matter of finding the right your right circles, but there's still a lot of stigma.
I totally agree. And it's like you get judged differently, like every time I bring the subject up, my mom just closes me down because she doesn't want to hear about it. And she's just now opening to the tarot, and that tarot's nothing. Can you imagine when I say to her, "Oh, I put a spirit through," her attitude, her posture, just she freezes, she changes. It's like finished, end off.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to start changing the subject. That's the weather, and that's not my interest. It's like
Right.
I want to keep talking about my interest. I love this. Anything to do with spirituality, I just totally love, and and I think I'm on my right path in life. I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, you want to share who you are. It makes you
I
happy.
shout it. Yeah, even my delivery men know what I do for a living because here's my psychic today. I will scream it through. I don't really care who hears about it, and if you don't like it, then don't talk to me. But I'm so open, especially when I go to my doctor. Oh, what do you do for a living? I'm a psychic. I'm a psychic medium. Anything you want to do, and they just freeze, because it's like, oh my god, But I just give it to them. I love it. I love their reaction.
The world as a whole seems to be a lot more open now, but
Yeah.
I would have thought there would have been a lot more in the UK, seeing seems to be where the paranormal kind of ignited.
I
It's a lot
totally
older
agree.
there.
It should be, but I found with what I've seen and you know I've heard, it's more open in the US than I find over here. You know, anything to do like even tarot, I find more more people in the US are more open to it than over here. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not. They're not in. A lot of them are into it, but it's not discussed. It's very private, and that's a shame because there's nothing to be ashamed of. I've had a reading, I've had this or whatever you're having, you know, it's not a shame in that because a lot of my bookings come from recommendations, but it's not from this country, it's from America, ironically. You
Yeah.
know, I've got very few over here, maybe 2 or 3, but all of the rest of my regulars are Americans, you know, which don't bother me, but it's like I think I've always found Americans are more open to the British.
It's
You
the
know,
accent. It really is. It's the
they
accent.
love the accent. I know. You need to go to Tina. She's got the British accent.
So everything she says is true. Yes.
Yes, you know. Spot on, Tina. Spot on. You know,
That really is
I love
intriguing,
it.
though. That outside of the U.S., there is a lot of trouble getting the paranormal to be so active. We've
Yeah,
spoken to people out of Canada that are having similar trouble.
locations
Yeah.
are locked down. We've also spoken to people from Ireland. Like they're like locations are closed. You know, and so if you want to go in, you have to climb a fence, you know, or you have to get into a location.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty interesting considering the age of everything there. I mean, the amount of paranormal activity and evidence and experiences that you can have compared to here, I can't imagine.
Well, I need to go to some of these sites because, you know, someone has to invite me. You know, come and join us. You know, I'll be on the next plane. You know, down there. You know, to investigate. But I don't know. I mean, I've not heard of too many, but maybe because nobody speaks in this. You know, I speak to. You know, have not said this is a really great place to investigate. You know, I'll be the first one there. You know, there's that we do have a haunting in not too far from me, and it's a home that has been haunted, but people can no longer live in there because it's got such strong paranormal activity that is actually whoever owned the house was forced to leave. And I can't remember, but I'll have to send you the name of this
Yeah.
property, and it's not too far. And my son wants to go, and I said, hell no, you know, because apparently it's really bad, and yeah, you know, can you imagine? It'd be a really great show. Me going in, I'd be the one who'd be screaming my head off and running, you know, because that's me, you know. And I'll be effing and blinding throughout. Did you effing hear that? You know, and that'll be, you know, that's, you know, I can't, you know, and he wants to go, and I don't, and I'm forcing myself to go with him.
That's pretty cool.
I
Yeah,
record
sure.
myself.
Let us know.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. That's the only one that I've heard of. I think they've done a documentary on it. I think it was on Netflix a while back. I think it was
Is it the house from The Conjuring?
something like that. Yeah, I think that would be the one in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. Oh, you're going into a good location.
that's the one. That's not too far from me. You know, it's literally 30 minutes from where I live, and he wants to go there. And he's working on me at the moment, trying to convince me to go.
Make sure he gets a picture of you being picked up and thrown out.
Oh, he'd be recording me. He recorded me running at the home and screaming my head off. Get me out of here, you know.
So, Tina, have you done most of the stuff that you've done is like the individual readings or gallery readings, that type of setup, right?
Everything I do is definitely I do everything on Zoom, so it's all like I do like the circles, I do workshops, either psychic or mediumship. You know, I do provide, you know, one-to-one if anyone wants like the mentoring side of stuff. because there's some people who not feel comfortable being in with other members, other group students, so they prefer the one-to-one. So I've done a few of those, to give them, they get my extra attention rather than in a class setting. So it's I do quite a lot of workshops and private ones.
I can
And
personally attest to Tina because she was an instructor of mine as well. So she's very good at what she does.
I love what I do. It's really it's so interesting. Like to find the right profession, which I will wake up and have a smile on my face because I totally love what I do, and and helping people. That was my number one aim from the beginning. It was like, why do you want to go into this section of the spirituality, whatever you're doing? And I thought, you know what, I want to help people, because if I can help them, why should they suffer? If I can give them guidance and sit there with them and say, nothing to worry about, or give them the evidence or their loved one. If I'm doing mediumship, for instance, for me, it's a big thing, to give them that comfort that their loved ones are there with them, because unless you're very open to it, you don't really know how like mediumship works and how spirit works in that sense. So for me, it was massive for me to say, give them that, for them not to worry anymore, because they're still with them 24/7. They're not leaving them. You can't virtually see them, but they're there beside you, And then I always give them that, sit, look at a picture or think of them and just ask them a question, see what you feel, what you pick up, it gives them a bit of comfort to do on their own, without a medium.
Yeah. People don't stop and think about that. You can talk to them yourself. They hear you.
Yeah. Totally, yeah. But because they
try to answer you back.
Hear it.
Right. Sorry? They do try to answer back in certain ways. It's just figuring out how, that communication.
Totally, because they can get signs from their loved one. They can smell them, like the perfume, or if alcohol. Because when my grandfather passed, I can smell beer, literally, and it was just a smell of beer, like a whiff of it, quickly, and I to acknowledge him that he's beside me. And this was before I got into all this, and smell it all. Like my grandmother now, she strokes my hair, and I know that's her. But it's simple little things. But can you imagine thinking, what the hell was that? If someone just touches you, just freak out and just run for the hills, But it's comforting when you think of them and they give you something, or you can ask them, give me a sign that you're with me, and that will be the sign that you'll be constantly given, so it's them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I started anyway.
I mean, I've had a client, a sitter once, and they lost their son, and there was a teddy bear they had taken everywhere they went. And they were talking to them, and they're like, please give me a sign, because they hadn't gotten a sign. They were yelling. They wanted a sign. They stood up. They walked into the hallway, and the teddy bear was sitting in the middle of the hallway. Wow. When it was in a completely different room before. I mean, signs obviously aren't that extreme, but that's the most extreme, amazing sign that I've heard so far.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
But then again, if it doesn't happen within, say, 24 hours, 3 days, does not mean that it's not happening.
Right.
It will happen. But when you want it now, I wanted to see it now, that's when it won't happen. You just say it, release it, and just wait for things to start changing and for them to show you, a sign that it's them. You might say it's a number plate, for instance. You might be driving somewhere. But if you're focused on specifics, that's not going to happen. You have to be very, very open to any kind of signs, billboards, that you might see something about, maybe they're obviously we have football teams over here, or, that we see something, their number or something that's, in front of you, thinking that there they are, that's your sign. You've asked, but specifics, I'm not too keen on being very specific with, giving a specific sign that they're there.
That patience too, and they take it to heart. If they don't get something, they think that their family member doesn't want to talk to them, and that's definitely not the case. And that's something that you can do to help heal the situation. That's not what's going on.
No, definitely. It's like I remember when my guides was changing, And I kept asking, who are you? Who are you? Meditation after meditation. It took them 2 weeks for me to just release it because I'm bloody stubborn at times. So I want it done now. So I had to remember, let it go, it will come. 2 weeks later, they came down and showed me who they are. And I went, damn, took me bloody 2 weeks. But I got there. But again, I wanted it now, and that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't happen. You just have to, it's up to spirit, whether it's your guides or spirit, whatever, to come in when they feel ready for you to receive the answers and, the right timing. Because if you're so focused, you're not going to hear anything or see anything because you're still stuck. Where is it? I can't see it. And you're in that frame of mind that you're not open to allow, the signs or spirit to come through and give you something that you've asked.
Yeah.
But they won't give you the lottery numbers. I have to declare that.
Always, never.
No, I wish they did. I did ask.
Who hasn't?
Exactly. What's the numbers?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Lotto, you've won the millions. Yeah. But yeah, I love it. But yeah, I have tried so many times, but no numbers, none. But if we will do try.
So for tarot, do you know what kind of spread do you use? Just the 3-card standard, or?
No, actually, I was taught one way, and that spread was not working for me because you've got to find the right spread when you're reading that works for you. And Spirit gave me my spread, and I've been using that spread for over about 10 years now. It's weird. It's like, you get your cards out, and you'll shuffle it, you put them out, laid out, and Spirit goes, add this on top of this one, do this, and that's how my spread is, and I've not changed it one bit. I mean, I do the 3-card spread. It's very rare for me to do a 3-card because I like talking. So 3 cards is not good enough for me. So I need a spread. Just keep going. But then, I work on a psychic level, so my guides will give me the information that I need to know. Although I do pick up on energies before the client comes through. Especially if you're a regular, I know exactly what you've been up to before you even come to me, and it does affect my energy. Sometimes I have to call them and say, I can't take this anymore. Whatever you're doing, calm down because you drive me bloody crazy. And that's the regulars because I can talk to them that way. But if there's anyone new, I do pick up, I sit there quietly, breathing in, what do I need to know? And I get the feelings about them and what they've been up to. And that's how I start my reading. Then I put some cards down and just look away, and my guides will help me through. But sometimes I get overexcited and they stop me halfway through my reading. And is it Elvin? Is it something Almighty? Is it was that movie or something Almighty where he talks to God? Yeah. Do you know when he talks and he goes whatever? That's me in the middle of a read. That's when they stop me. And it's like, sorry, I've rushed the reading. Yeah, I've done that a few times in a read. And I laugh at myself now when I get there. I try and slow down and let them give me the guidance that I need. But they get guidance with the reading right at the end. Give them, what I feel and something for them to consider. So I haven't had any complaints with my reading. Yeah. That's awesome. I like to make them laugh through the reading anyway. So yeah, I love reading.
Laughter is healing too. So not only the healing message, but laughter as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I have that in my circles too. I make a big thing before we start, so I have them all laughing. Before I do anything. But I love laughter. It's my thing. I think I'm a prankster too, but yeah.
When you just mentioned your circles, you have a mediumship and psychic development group on Facebook.
I sure do.
That's
Yeah.
where you tend to do your circles? Do you do them only on Zoom, or do you do them in person?
Oh no. If I do them in person, I'll be here on my own. So can you imagine doing a circle just sitting there? Hello.
We'll be with you.
Yeah, that would be with me. But I won't have anything to validate with anyone, so it's a bit lonely this end. So it's on Zoom. Yeah. So I have my psychic and mediumship development group for all levels on Facebook. So it's all advertised in there. All my workshops and my circles and anything I'm doing. I will be having a special on tarot in January. 20 minutes. I think it's $20, but that'll be advertised in my group. But yeah, I like to give back here and there. But you don't know what 2025 is in store for everyone.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
Run for the
I don't
hills.
know what tomorrow has in store.
I know.
I think I have to set up an appointment.
Yeah. Tina, help!
Yeah.
I need your assistance.
I'll just send you a message.
Tell
then you
telepathy.
can call me.
All right, Irene, I've got that. Yeah. Let me just put you in the diary. 7 p.m. Eastern, not a problem. I'll be up for you.
Exactly. That's how we all take appointments, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You don't need to message me. Just send the message via telepathic, and yeah, my diary's out. You're in there.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about what your classes entail? So you have some mediumship classes. One's an intro class.
I've got a free intro. Yeah, I've got a free intro in December the 15th. That's just to give you people, especially it's designed for beginners, only beginners, who want to go into the field and are unsure, what to expect in mediumship. So it's just a little introduction, on mediumship. So we're going to go through some bits and pieces. Then the classes itself was a mediumship for beginners. Was called Introduction for Mediumship. Starts the first Sunday in February, and then I've got the psychic workshops coming up after that, which is I'm trying to finishing touches on that one, make it more interesting. More exercises in that one. It's a mixture, of everything. And then I do individual classes on workshops like I'm going to do one on remote viewing, animal communication, because I love that. Is it forensic, psychic, forensic, whatever? I can't remember what it was. I just the names come to me. I do them, and I can't remember what I've named them. So yeah,
it's called Intro to Forensic and Psychic Detective Work.
That's the one. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so that's coming up, I think, in March. So yeah, I just sit here and I work, and things come to me. I think, oh, that's interesting. Well, that name's interesting. So I create it, and I think, what did I name it? I couldn't remember the name of my group the other day, and I said, I don't know. Just come check.
It's called Tarot Book. It's a tarot book.
I know. But my book is, I've got my book here anyway. So that's my book for, it's really, and the thing is, it's got psychic stuff at the beginning. Like, where is it? It's got spreads in it, but it's all psychic here. And then further on, you get the tarots in color. You got the definitions and the symbolism, because I love symbolism when I read tarot. So yeah.
And it's available through Amazon?
Yes. Amazon US, or if you want to be UK, or either country. And Canada. So, I think it's available in all countries, but I had to make it available there. And it's on Kindle too.
Okay. Very cool.
I know. So that's interesting. I love that book. But, it took me a while to get it correct. The right what I needed. And permission for that book took me forever, because I had to get permission from US and UK to use the cards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they give you 2 years or 3-year contract. It feels like a contract anyway, that you have that permission for that time. And then when your time is up, you've got to renew it and wait for them to come back to you, because I have to stop the sales, because I can't sell anymore until I get the approval from them to continue selling.
Wow.
I think I'm going to create my own deck. Really, that'd be not an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
I know, but it's something I'm thinking of doing anyway. I've been sitting on it for about a year now. That over a year, actually, nearly 2 years. Been thinking, do my own tarot deck, but it's I've got to find the right someone to design it for me, because I'm not that I'm creative in not actually I'm not that creative, but I need someone to create what I feel that I need it for the cards. So it's hard to do that, but I have to play around with it. I want to start making ideas and then put it that way.
Well, what inspired you to want to actually write the book, just in general?
Because what I like to give my knowledge, because I've learned over the years. It's like learning and then understanding in a different way and expanding my knowledge for myself. And I wanted to help other people. And then I thought, how better place, because I work on a psychic level. How nice is it to have psychic in there? And I've researched this. There's only one other book that's psychic tarot. Everything is tarot, and I'm thinking I just want to be a bit different. I don't want to be the same as everyone else. So there is one tarot book, but that's in black and white, and that does not interest me. I like color, because you want to see the deck. Because when I do teach the tarot classes as well. I teach on the deck that's in the book, but you don't have to get the book, because you get a shorter version of the definitions in a PDF version that I send. So something that I thought, with my knowledge, I can help other people, and that's what I did. I just wanted to write and write and write.
And I think color is really important too, because as mediums and psychics, that we're taught to look at color as having some kind of meaning too. So when you see the colors in the deck, it helps you to really get an understanding of what you feel or what you think these colors mean.
Because obviously in the book, if I'm talking about definition and the symbolism part, at least you can see in the cards, in the picture, what I'm looking at. Because if you're thinking black and white, you're thinking, where the hell is it? You need to go get the deck out and start flicking through the deck to find that card and really look at it. But this way, you've got it right there in front of you, the picture, so you can just look at the images on the page, exactly what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Because I've used symbolism for years.
Were you more I know you took trainings and things like that, but were you more self-taught when it came to tarot, or did you have training under other teachers? Because I know some people who are self-taught and some people who were taught by instructors.
Well, yeah, because the first time I got a deck of cards, it was like the devil's thing, by the family members. So I had to burn them, because that's what they said you've got to burn, and throw them in water, which I had to do. And then years later, I'm thinking, hell no, this is my passion. So I bought the cards, and and I did. The funny thing is, it's like I used to go to this spiritual center in the UK, and I used to go every week, and I used to do meditation for a whole year. And the person who did the meditation, she used to give us a card read. She'd go through every single one and give you a card read. I think that was the highlight of the meditation. Then you go in the meditation. So I did. This is how my journey started. It was really weird. So I did a course on Rouhani. Not a lot of people know about Rouhani. Rouhani is very identical to Reiki, but what Rouhani is, you bring your angels instead of masters. That's the only difference in the whole thing. I didn't realize, because I'm Reiki 1, and then I've also done Rouhani. And I kept saying, oh no, because I've been brought up thinking it's not normal. It's the devil's thing to read tarot. So I voiced my opinion very, very openly. So when I went home, spirit would not allow me to settle, because I think for nearly 24 hours, I kept hearing the voice so loud in my head, learn the tarot, learn the tarot. It was freaking me out. When you just hold your head, because the voice was so loud. And I kept saying, no. They wouldn't let me, to the time I said, okay, I'm going to go tomorrow and sign up for the class. So I go to the center. Hey, I'm here. can you put me down for the tarot class? Don't you think they all bloody laughed at me? Because they knew my opinion. I said a few days before, I said, no bloody way am I doing this. So here I come in. Hi, can you put me in the tarot? No one will put me in the diary. And I had to say, they said, no, I'm serious. You've got to put me down because the spirit will not allow me. I have to do this. So they put me through, had my training, and to practice. They should have a tarot workshop once a month, which is a tarot meet. You meet up and you practice with other tarot readers, and that's how it started. And then I started doing it on my own. But I was fortunate because my mentor was amazing, because I learned my tarot in September, and February there was a psychic event, and she said, I want you to be one of the readers. And I thought it was a joke because I don't even know my cards. Was it 74 cards in there? I knew 5 or 6 of them. And she goes, you have a month to learn all the cards. I literally fainted, literally. Can you imagine? I've just started, and so she, I had Post-its everywhere on my wall to look at. I used to sit there talking to myself. I'm giving someone a reading, and my kids thought, who the hell are you talking to? And I said, I'm talking to myself. It's like, have imaginary friends where you're reading, and that's what I used to do. I said, hello, give them the full, welcome, I'm your tarot reader, and I did that for such a while. And I've never looked back. It's just, I've just expanded, knowledge keeps coming through. I see things differently now. And that's how I started, love it. And I want to give that back to my students who have taken my tarot workshop, there. And I'm trying to do something different now, because I'm also adding mentoring. They've got 10 minutes mentoring with me for free with the tarot, where they do the workshop, and after the workshop they book 10 minutes with me to discuss any issues they have or any advice they want, that kind of thing. So that's coming up. I'm retweaking that event.
Nice.
I know.
What do you think about, so I think when you sit down with a client or a sitter, there's some etiquette and approach, and I feel like I was taught by wonderful people that helped with that etiquette, that keeping track, right? Including you. Thank you too. But the approach to the person sitting across from you is really important. It's the same way in the paranormal world as approaching spirit, I feel. But if you are dealing with, first, how do you approach someone in general? But if you're dealing with a difficult situation, or maybe some bad news, or something you think somebody may not want to hear, how do you handle that situation?
As a tarot reader or as a medium?
Both. Either way. I didn't think about a difference.
Because it's like, it's quite funny, because as a lot of people want to know if the partner's cheating.
Right. Yes.
How do you do that one? You have to. I would never ever tell anybody, oh yeah, they're cheating. Because that's not the right approach to someone. Because as people come to you, you don't want them leaving any worse than what they've come to you. You want to let them leave in a better frame of mind. So you have to give them other ideas. And it was really, because I had this conversation earlier on, and a friend of mine said to me, yeah, but what do you want to say? Have you thought of checking their phone, or that kind of a thing? So you're going to give them in a delicate way. But I would never tell somebody, although I feel it, I sense it, and I'm hearing it, I will never tell somebody, 100%, because it's, there's no one who's 100% in this world, no psychics, no mediums. So can you imagine if I said to someone, oh my God, yeah, he's cheating? I mean, but he's not. But, that's the kind of thing. And you have to be so careful with your wording, like you said, how you're going to deliver, that there's no way on earth I'm going to give them that information. But if it's on a mediumship side, you have to be very considerate how you deliver the evidence from spirit, especially if say someone's taken their own life, how do you handle that? You're not going to say, oh my God, and just blurt it out, you have to say it in a very delicate way, like, look, unfortunately, I feel that he was responsible for his own passing. That's more a delicate version than say, oh yeah, he hanged himself. And people used to do that before, back in back in the day. Being so direct. I'm a very direct person, but I had to learn you do not deliver that kind of messages. So you have to be very mindful how you give your messages to your sitter or your client.
Yeah, I agree. And have you ever had experiences where I've seen readers, I've never done this myself, but I've seen readers who have told sitters, or I've come across readers who have told sitters that they have attachments or demonic attachments, things like that. How would you approach that situation?
Okay, so I had this in my group because something happens when somebody said to, so there's this my local mall, and I was with my friend. She was having something done, and a lady went to this tarot reader. There was a new store that's opened up, and told her that there's an attachment, and he wanted how much money to take it off. I looked in awe because that puts a bad reputation for us who are genuine. And I said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have an attachment. That's that he just wants to make money. And I said, when my friend was finishing, I'm going to go and approach him in that store to say, you don't do that. Well, I don't know what happened that day. He must have sensed me. And I don't think he's that psychic anyway. The store closed. He closed and he was going for lunch for 2 hours. And that's never happened. Because I wanted to say, you have an attachment. I was going to give it back to him to see if he liked it, because you don't do that, and that really annoys me because it's all about money, attachment. You've got this, you've got that, or there's the spirit in your home. I need to come and cleanse your home. 2,000, I've got pounds in England, £2,000 for me to come. And that's what he was charging them, and I'm thinking, no. And that really annoys me and frustrates me in a big way because, if this is what's happening now, when people want readings or are very genuine, want something, how would they trust us? They think we're also phony like they are, and I'm so against it. And I'm very passionate about this because I would bloody kill him myself, because you don't do that, because it makes me wonder why people are not really booking that much. Because are you genuine? And I'm glad I get a lot of recommendations, but it's like, and I've got a lot of reviews on my website anyway. But can you imagine? Like, people don't know me when I first started. They probably thought, well, I don't know what she's like, But what's your views?
For me, I'm the same way. I've never thought to even sit down and tell somebody something like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't come across anything that would do that anyway, but the approach, it's not even a thought in my mind. Like, but when I step into a reading, I step into, and my goal and my delivery is, and I ask for that, is to deliver healing messages that bring somebody, the ability to move forward, the ability to gain understanding. It's not about, that person has an attachment. It's, that's not really where my mind is when I sit with someone.
Totally. So, yeah. But then again, what is an attachment? I mean, how do they know there's an attachment? How you zoned into that person and you've heard there's an attachment. The only way is like looking in their eyes. That's the only way you can tell. But you've got to be so advanced to even see that,
Right.
And if there's an attachment or they've been taken over, it's all to do with the eyes. You can see the change in the eyes, And someone taught me that. That's how I've learned to look at people's eyes to see if there's taken over or that kind of a thing, But no, I'm I don't read anybody with the intention, oh, do they have an attachment, or are they going to get, am I going to get attached? That don't even come up
Right,
to my
right.
thought. Because when we're going into this business in giving readings, we trust because we've got our guides for protection. But then who am I fearing? The humans or the spirits? I actually fear the humans than the
Yeah.
spirits. The spirits are, I don't feel them in any shape or form. There's no fear at all there.
Yeah.
So why would I get? No, it's all about money.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
If you see something, negative, like I think there's a lot of projecting too. Like if I were to see something negative, my approach wouldn't be to outright say this is what's going on.
No.
It would be maybe you should talk to someone, or maybe, I could recommend you to somebody else that, could better help you in this situation. But it's never, I don't like you. Some people will walk out of that reading and they will be absolutely terrified. You will have turned their life upside down.
Totally. And even if you feel it, that there's something going on in the home or something, you can say it depends on your culture. You might want to bring a priest in or a vicar or whatever to give you a nice little, just to air the air out, and I make it like that, bit of fun, not fun, but I mean, make it like light and heavy,
high vibrational.
Sage it, open windows, that'll clear the air, see how that feels. But I'm not going to say, I'll come and cleanse for you. There's like an attachment. There's something hidden on the corner of your living room. It's just you don't go there. And I hear so many stories from a lot of students, and it's just ironic how far people will go to make someone fear. Because what we do, there's no fear in what we do at all. It's put there by other people who are, I would say, close-minded, who are very stuck in their own ways. This is what's going to happen. It's like when I started my journey. Oh, you don't know what you're going to bring through. You might get a demonic. Demonic came so many times in my development through friends and family, and I'm saying no. I did think the first time I sat and thought, really, and I'm thinking. When you really think about it, thinking, what the hell am I thinking? There's nothing wrong. I trust in spirit because that's what we do. We trust in spirit. Nothing's going to happen. But unfortunately, it's culture and, the environment and, the full thing that comes through and makes us, if I go to my local priest and I say, this is what I do. Oh, my God, sin, sin, and sin. As you know, the culture, Irene.
Right. Yeah. I do very well.
I'm going to be crucified.
There are priests that are willing to work with the paranormal world too. So there are some that are more open to doing that and approaching that because they do have the proof and the experience of handling these situations. So, but there wouldn't be an entire department dedicated to exorcism at the Vatican if there wasn't something possibly going on.
But then, don't you think that priests are hypocrites in that sense? Because if you look back with Jesus was a medium and a psychic. He knew everything that was happening. But it's okay. If you look at it back then, it's okay for him to do that, but it's a sin for us. Right. There's no difference.
Yeah.
I use that quite a lot in my when I speak because that's the biggest thing I can bring up because it's true.
Yeah, it is, and you bring up a good point too in terms of like what those people that are doing readings are dealing with and what they're like, because the one thing that we were taught is like that inner work, that shadow work before you approach anything. Yeah. So you have to heal within before you can help heal without, and so that's somebody projecting themselves and their own beliefs and their own inner work that they have to do, their own darkness onto somebody else. Not that they have a demon attached to them, but their own inner metaphorical darkness.
Yeah, and if people don't know, they will believe this is what we have, and they will think, oh my God, and they will go deeper in depression or whatever. And God forbid, they don't end anything, but it's hard, because you've got to be very careful when you say to someone there's an attachment to you, and it's not lightly to say it either.
Yeah, and it's scary because there is this, like a psychological approach to sitting with people. You're not a trained psychologist, you're not a, but you have to handle things that somebody would come to a psychologist for, because people will bring so much to the table when you sit with them, or things will come out that they never even expected would come out,
Yeah.
and if you can't approach it in a gentle way or in an understanding way or in an objective way, you can't really, you're not doing your job.
No, absolutely. I totally agree there, because you have to be very mindful as well how you say things, to the other person, because you don't even know when you're saying something their mental state, because obviously there's mental health now is become bigger than it used to be, because more people are very open to their own mental state and mental health side. So if someone's not in a great place on their mental health and you come up with that approach, it's going to throw them over.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
You know?
I couldn't live with that responsibility.
No.
That's no.
Mm-mm. I would, if I ever did that, I would never forgive myself, because I would say I should know better, because you don't do that,
Yeah.
with all my
Yeah.
years of experience. But it's hard, because you don't know that person, you don't know what they've gone through, or how they are in today. You don't say to them, do you have any mental health issues? And if they do, they're not going to say to you, yes, I do. They're
Right.
going to say, no, it's good. So you still don't know. So you have to be, because some people are very private. They're not very open with their mental side, or, being outgoing, how they feel. So yeah, you could be very, very gentle with any kind of messages, whether it's mediumship, psychic, or tarot, whatever way you want to look at it. Anything that comes through, you have to be very mindful of how you perceive the information and how you give it back, because you have to think before you open your mouth and just blurt it out, because there's more damage that way.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm very straight, but I'm very mindful when I give my readings, but I'm very open.
Let's go a little bit into the paranormal. So you recently had basically your life is paranormal, because you see spirits all the time, right? But you recently had a paranormal experience in one of your classes. You want to share with everybody?
Oh my God, yeah. So actually, I've had two. I've heard that spirit twice. So today, we had one today earlier on. I had a circle at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I brought in a sitter. It was into the circle, and so everyone practiced on the one person. So as someone was giving evidence of spirit, and I think she said, I think the spirit that she had through was that English was not their first language. So she said, I don't think they spoke English. And suddenly we all of us heard in the class, every one of us heard they need to learn English, or they need something about English. And I heard it was a woman's voice. And a lot of them, everyone said, yeah. And I muted myself and said, who spoke? And everyone was looking at each other. I said, no. And I said, did you hear what? We all heard the same thing. And it was just, oh my God, because I love all things. It's like, oh, it was so clear.
Yeah.
Like they should learn English. They should learn to speak English or something. I can't remember exactly, but I heard learn English is what the words I heard. Because I think, and I was just say, who bloody said that? Because I wasn't polite, and I realized it wasn't them. It was spirit. And yeah, and I had another experience when I was in the spiritual center. We were doing this exercise, and I had my back turned, and I'm connecting to spirit. And this is when I was really new into all this, and I said, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, love it. And then I had a woman laugh. But apparently, because the exercise was, no one was allowed to speak till I finished giving the whole reading. Because if I hear someone say yes, I will know exactly who I'm connected to. So I turned around, and my teacher said, it wasn't polite for you to say that. And I said, well, I didn't mean it in a bad way, but because I was just walking out, me. And I said, anyway, who laughed? Nobody heard it. But I heard somebody laughing at me when I said, I don't know what the F, I'm saying, that kind of thing. So yeah, that was the first time, surprise. Love it.
Catching or hearing it audibly, and if you record it, the EVP is for me one of the most exciting pieces of paranormal evidence someone can get, especially when it's clear, when you absolutely know what it's saying, and it's not all staticky and you try to make out and muffled. So, and then to have people sit and hear it all at the same time, that's everybody hear the same thing, like you have multiple people having that same experience. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the thing is, I should have recorded the session, but because we had the sitter, I didn't think it was, I didn't feel comfortable saying, can I record you? Because she was, might feel, oh my God, because I'm not sure if she's done anything like that on Zoom with all these strangers reading her, so I had to be mindful not to make her panic in that sense, or feeling overwhelmed. And I should have recorded that because we all heard it. Literally,
that's
we all
classic
heard
paranormal investigation, right, JD? It always happens when you're not recording. Oh,
is it muted?
Yeah, your audio, we can't hear you. Nope, you're still muted.
Well, no, he's muted because he's got a little sign on.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Okay, we'll keep going. But JD, I'm sure he agrees until he can get his audio back on. But I'm sure he agrees with what we're saying. Sometimes you get lucky and it's there, you catch it, and other times, I remember once we were at investigating in Poasttown Elementary School, and we all saw. So I love using a ball, and I set it on the stage, and it's this ball with little spikes, so it stays pretty still. And it's deflated, so it's flat, so it's not going to jump and roll everywhere. So I put it on the stage, and I walked away from the stage, and all of us were going to, watch the stage and video the ball. And looked back, and everybody looked up at the same time and saw the ball move.
No.
And so we were like, oh my gosh, but we didn't have the cameras going. And so we sat for an hour trying to figure out, trying to get it to happen again, and it wouldn't happen again. But then I forgot that I had set up a thermal camera. Just by chance, I had set up the thermal camera, because I set it down. I'm like, well, I'll just aim it, toward the back of the gym. And it managed to catch half the ball, and you could see it on the thermal move.
Oh, wow.
The problem is you don't see the whole ball, so you can't tell if there's someone over here, which, but you see, it validated that the ball did move, and we actually caught it on camera, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah. My son wants to get an EVP. He wants to go into my house and go around in the rooms. I said, no, don't you dare, because I won't be sleeping if
oh, don't do it at your house. No. Not at this stage. You're still young.
No, exactly. No, it's fine. No.
Right.
We can go around each room and check, because I've actually seen spirit in my home before. I saw someone running up into my son's bedroom, and I'm calling him, and he's answering me from downstairs. And I went, when did you get downstairs? And he goes, I've been downstairs for about an hour. And I went, who the hell was running in your room? He goes, I don't know. And it was a black hoodie. I could see, and literally, and I think he was wearing a black hoodie. That's the thing. It was ironic, And I went, oh my God, But I've seen a few spirits in this house when I least expect it. Yeah.
Well, see, there you go. You've had more paranormal experiences than you thought.
Really... It's coming all back. I've even got slapped by spirit while I was asleep. It was.
Why? What did you do? Why did you make them mad?
I was sleeping. Maybe they didn't want me to sleep. Maybe they want to be entertained. I go whacking the. What the hell was that?
Are you back, JD?
It bloody hurt.
Not sure.
There he is. He's back. Did you hear her get slapped? She got slapped.
Yeah, for your gallery reading today, did the sitter have the microphone on? Did everybody
in my circle. There were, I think, some were on and some were muted, but there was no background because we were going. I mean, I spoke to them before we started the session. I was talking to them about 10, 15 minutes. So it's not as if we've started and we've gone straight into reads, you know. So we were talking, then I had them in 15-minute meditation, and then we came back, someone started, it was right towards the end of her reading, the first medium, then that's when we heard it. Because I was like this, and I went, who the hell's, you know, I heard it was crystal clear. And we all heard the same
Curious
thing.
if it came through the sitter's microphone.
Could be, or it could be the mediums. I don't even know where it came from, but it was really, because I like to debunk everything to make sure. But it was a weird voice, you know. But yeah, it was clear, but not loud like hers. Well, definitely not loud as mine. I've got a loud one. Yeah, but it was brilliant. Loved it. But yeah, you're making me think about my past now. Yeah, I've had a few. Forgot all about those.
That is a pretty good one. I'm surprised you forgot about that.
I did. Wow. You know, I've seen Victorian people walking through my wall. You know, but yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, because when I moved in, my stairs to my loft, which is, I think you call it attic over there.
Yeah.
Something about it, I kept looking up. I always felt there was something there. You know, then once I saw someone walking down. And I went, what the? Yeah. I went straight to the wall. Yeah. And then after that's when I got slapped. So I must have been there.
It's because you didn't say hello.
Probably. I think I swore instead. So they're thinking, all right, here you go.
It wasn't proper.
You should be nice. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you want to tell everybody what platforms they can find you on and your website? You want to share that information?
Yeah, my website is The Spiritual Reader at oh god, this is me, I've gone blank. TheSpiritualReader.com is the website. And the website, the Facebook group is Mediumship and Psychic Development Group for all levels. I have that. And then I've got my personal TikTok, Instagram, which is The Spiritual Reader. Yeah, I think I've got them all right. Yeah.
What's your upcoming class? The one that's going to come up next is the intro
workshop. It's a mini intro to mediumship for beginners, especially when you're starting your journey, not showing what's entailed. Because it is frightening if you don't know what to expect. If you're going to, you're interested in the area but don't know what you're going to get, that kind of a thing. And so it's a little taster, a little mini. Well, no, it's really weird because I used the word taster, and someone in America said we don't use the word taster because she goes, "What is a taster?" And I went, "Oh, it's just an intro." Yeah. I mean, look, we speak the same language, but we have different definitions. So I have to ask when I'm posting something. I have to go to someone in America. Does this make sense? Because if I put it up the UK version, I understand what I'm saying, but it gets mixed up. So it's an introduction to mediumship. That's on the 15th of sorry. You use it the other way, so it's December the 15th because we use 15th. Yeah. And it's in my group, or you can book it through my website. It goes straight in, and you can just book your slot.
And how much do you charge for that?
That's a free.
That's what I wanted. That's a free workshop she's giving you.
Free. Yeah, that's a free one.
Yeah, so that's a great opportunity to dip your toe in the water and see
if it's the right one, if I'm the right, mentor, because you've got to find the right mentor that's going to help you to develop your development. Because if you you can learn from so many people. There's a lot of people. I like my laughter. There's boring. There's whatever. I don't do boring. I like to uplift everyone's energy. That's who I am. So, and you have that with me, but maybe I'm too much. I don't know. So you've got to find the right one to work.
No, I'm just kidding.
Would you mind?
You're wonderful. You're wonderful.
You did laugh in all the classes. I do remember.
Yes, I did.
I entertained you. Yeah.
No, she's great. I recommend Tina wholeheartedly.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, no, I love it. But yeah, yeah, because a lot of people say they've done so many classes with so many teachers, and they didn't learn anything because you closed up because that teacher was not for you. So definitely go and look at different teachers, look at their profile or whatever, and find the right one for you that you can connect with, so you can learn. Or if you want, you can come to my circles on a Sunday. That's in my group, and see the students in action.
That's awesome.
Love, love, love. I was born to do this.
Yes.
Thanks, Tina, for joining us for this podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
I didn't
you.
realize I was able to speak for an hour. I was thinking, oh my God, what do I speak about? But yeah, it flowed.
You did great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And hopefully all the guests were able to learn something new during the video. We'll be hosting another podcast interview next Sunday at 7, so keep an eye out for that upcoming guest. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye.